All right, fellas, I believe we are live. I don't really have nothing to say. I was the one last week bragging on Joe Joyce. He turned out to be a bum. So,
He wasn't a bum. He just
I,
looked.
Styles make fights, man. Styles
man, he
make
was
fights,
throwing like a damn robot out there.
man. Yeah, go ahead, and speak on it, Corey.
I mean, he was slow. I mean, it's all right to be slow, but I mean, I don't. How many times have we seen over the years, fellas, since we was little? This guy got a chin. This guy got a chin. This guy got a chin until they run into somebody and that chin ain't gonna work. He went into the fight, fellas, in my opinion, not even swinging. He didn't really start swinging hard till like the second or third round. Uh, Zhang or whatever, he came in firing right away.
Yeah.
He did.
And Joe Joyce tried his normal game plan where he was going to try and slow him down after everything had went down and maybe try and get him 8th, 9th, 10th round. But by that time, you know, his eye was already closed by the 5th round. So that didn't work out. Now, I don't like how they stopped the fight because I feel like he was still fighting back.
He was.
Pretty good. And I'm getting really tired of that soft stuff. I saw it in MMA last night, too. It was like it's like, yo, let the person at least be hurt first. We don't need to just stop the fight so quick all the time. And here's the thing: if they did want to stop the fight, fellas, why not just let him finish that round? He was already in that round. It was 1 minute something left in that round. Why can't they just let him finish that round?
Let him go.
And I believe the ref did let him go, and I think it was ultimately the doctor, not the ref. I think the doctor
was the one that stopped.
Yeah, I think the doctor ultimately let him go. He didn't say like this enough like that, but then I think the ref ultimately was the one that stopped the fight. So that kind of sucked too.
I think it was the doctor that stopped it. Like he right before the 5th, the doc came up, checked his eyes, like, "Hey, I need you to come here." They do that little how.
Right, they do the little whisper thing. Okay, he probably whispered it to him. Okay,
and then he was like, he told him, and then the doc was like, "You good?" I was like, right at like that 1 minute mark, the doc came right back on. He literally he was in the ring, like on the side on the ropes, telling the ref like, "Yo, you need to come here. We need to check this man's eye." So ref came, checked his eye. The doc went to check his eye. Then the doc told the ref to stop the fight.
Okay, he must be.
The ref was letting him go. The ref was like, "Yo, if he wants to still fight, keep fighting." But the doc was like, "No." But on the other hand, Joe Joyce, he didn't game plan correctly. Like
at all.
Like if I don't know if any of you guys fought a southpaw. I'm a southpaw, so there's certain tendencies that we are brought up with fundamentally to do it. Zhang was doing it. He was able to literally just land a left straight at will from the 1st round to the 5th round. Literally, he didn't do nothing. Like literally, Zhang covered up.
Yeah.
Did his thing. Popped the left straight. Popped the left straight. Popped left straight. Do a little bit. You do a little bit here and there, but it was always left straight. His foot positioning was better than Joe Joyce. Like I don't think Joyce fought a southpaw before.
Yeah, I think that was his first southpaw.
I think that's what it was because like Joyce wasn't. You could tell how if you see anybody fight a southpaw, because there's not very many of us that fight that you'll never. It's really rare to see like to come in and fight a southpaw. So once you first encounter a southpaw, you be sitting there like you look funny. But even then, your camp should have told you like, yo, this dude's a big 6'6" something southpaw. We need to find a southpaw.
And I saw him fight before. I can't remember who it was that was in like the top 10. When he fought him, you know, the guy from China, he actually fought him pretty well. So I knew he wasn't no slouch. Mm-hmm. But I just thought Joe Joyce was so tough because I never seen nobody drop Joseph Parker like that. Joseph Parker would lose a fight, but he wouldn't get dropped like that.
Yeah.
And the way Joe Joyce dropped him, I'm like, okay, but then yesterday, I don't know if he drank or what he's, but he looked like like he was just like he had dinosaur feet. I mean, what the hell is this dude swinging at? Swinging slowish.
He came in First of all, what kind of surprised me, he came in so smaller than he usually is.
Yeah.
And I
that was
like,
another idiotic thing, fellas.
and I was and when I first seen it, I'm like, damn, this might be the wrong dude to start cutting weight against because that dude was 280,
Huge.
6'8",
And why are you
280.
cutting weight if you're a heavyweight? Like,
Yeah,
why
that's
you
what
don't
I'm
need to
saying.
cut weight? Just be in shape.
He didn't notice we looked smaller to you guys though.
Yeah.
He looked noticeably smaller. So that was kind of
I don't know.
you know, when I seen that and I seen how big the other guy is, mind you, I seen the other guy fight too. I think it was a kind of like a bad decision or something. The guy who he fought not too long ago, but
His last opponent.
Yeah, when I seen him come in too small, like real small, I'm like, damn, why would he come in that small knowing his opponent is a big guy? So I'm like, maybe he worked on some speed or something. Maybe he worked on, you feel me? He can't, but like you said, Mash, like his punches didn't have no ump on him. Like, I don't know, like he was pity patting. Like, I don't know, it just ain't seems his punches ain't had a lot of sting on him at all. Like he was not throwing him hard or nothing. And
yo, I was sitting there looking at the TV because like, what is he?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
And like Twan said, like, did you guys even spar with a southpaw in training camp? Like, there's no way.
Like he
that
just
you're about to fight a southpaw,
he looked
and the left hand keeps landing to you right in your front of your face. Like he was landing the left all
at
fight.
Will. Like,
at will.
He just looked confused. Like really, like he stepped in and he was like, "What do I do?" And then probably his corner's like, just start touching him so he can be defensive because Zhang is known to be doesn't have that much stamina on him. But the fact that Zhang's like, if I could just pop the left straight, I don't even need to throw nothing. He literally he threw maybe one or two jabs, but just left straight.
It was all straight lefts most of the fight, honestly.
Like, if I would do the same strategy. If I'm just throwing one punch and it's landing, I freaking gas myself out. If I could just pick and choose, I know I can throw it at will. Bang.
Yep.
Oh,
bang.
And then on top of it, after the second round, I'm seeing the effect of my punches. Like by the second round, you saw his nose was already bloodied up. His eye was already starting to swell up. By the fourth round, his eye was done.
So,
Zhang is
he was
bugging. The same thing. Like, oh, man, I can get this dude to stop real quick. I don't even have to freaking throw out and move around and bit bop and rope a dope or nothing like that. I could just sit there, stand there, and let him hit me with these little pity pat punches because Joyce didn't have no juice on it. Even when he did catch him flush.
It's almost like he was drained from losing weight. And I'm just like, what? Like, why the hell are you doing that if you're a heavyweight? Like, I don't what are you doing?
His camp like set him up to fail. That's my opinion. Like, there's no way.
And then why would you rely on your chin? Like, you rely on your chin if you need to, but you don't let him hit the Asian dude came in there trying to bust his face first.
Yes.
And then after he got beat up, then he told him so you gonna decide to wake up in the third round, yo? Like, that's when you decide to wake up?
I honestly feel like they were relying on Zhang to burn out.
And it didn't work because he closed his eye this time. It might have worked if he didn't close his eye.
Yeah, it might have worked, right.
Because I figured like he was trying to take him to the deep water. Like, that's cool and all, but defend yourself, bro. Defend yourself. Like, if you relying on your chin and you're relying on your endurance, at least have your defense ready to rock. Because if not, that'll happen. Your eye get jacked up, and then the doctor's gonna stop the fight. Because this ain't like back in like the 80s where freaking the doc will look at you and like, oh, you still got one eye. God bless you with a spare. Keep moving. Like, there's a lot. The doctors are more into they want the fighter to.
They soft because people are sue. People are getting mad at the refs for not stopping the fight, and then they'll get mad at the refs for stopping the fight. And then if the ref don't stop the fight
they get mad
and let them fight, oh, well, you the reason my husband got brain damage and it's $1 million in lawsuits.
So they'll rather stop the fight early and let the fighter have a longer life than have them keep going and possibly have like that Cologne situation where he got hit in the back of the head too many times. And now he's freaking paraplegic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Joyce, that's your camp. I don't even think it was his fault. Like, Joyce came in with a game plan. His team told him, "Hey, Zhang is known not to have that much stamina. Let's wait him out. Let's bring him to the 8th, 9th, 10th round, and then you can have your way with him." That's his camp. His camp's fault. I put that loss on his camp.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're gonna lose that weight, at least be moving around some and put your head on a swivel. You know, you could parry some punches dodge some punches or whatever. So I agree with you, Twan. I just think he had a bad camp. I don't know if they underestimated dude or what, but from the jump, like he just came in too small, and we all know Joe. We all know his defense is already, below average. Like he already has to work on that, his defense anyway. But just to be there and just to keep getting hit by the same punch all fight,
straight down the middle.
Yeah, straight down the middle.
Like
pop. Like,
it wasn't even like a setup for it. It was no jab.
It wasn't no. It was just straight. He was just picking them up and just landing it at. I'm watching the highlights again, and now just to and yeah, it was just a bad all around game plan from Joyce, and he was trying to get that title fight soon. I don't know about that now. Zhang definitely threw a wrench in the heavyweight rankings. So we're gonna see where he go from this. I mean, he might try to run it back. I don't know, but
I don't know if he has a mandatory.
I don't know if he's but but shouts out to Zhang, man. He came to fight.
He did his thing.
He did his thing. He came to fight. He threw a wrench in the heavyweight, little standards because Joyce was probably gonna be next up to try to get a title fight soon. So he stopped that. Zhang looked good, man. He's 6'8". He's a big dude. He's 6'8", 280. His hands are pretty quick for a heavyweight. If you say his hands are pretty quick.
And as I was talking to both of y'all yesterday, if Anthony Joshua was smart, he would go ahead and fight Joe Joyce right now. I don't know why he was scared, because if Joe Joyce is that damn slow, AJ could box circles around him. You don't even have to try and drop it.
You might as well just get Joe Joyce out the way. And then
who you think will be able to fight for Zhang then? Because
I think what Zhang should do, fellas, if Zhang is a smart man, he should go home to China. Go ahead and defend both of those belts. Right? I mean, no, that one belt. Defend that belt. It'll be an insane crowd. China's got over 1 billion people. He should just go do a big fight in China versus some type of mandatory that he can whoop on. And then after that, he should find the best fight in the Americas or the UK, whether it's against Wilder, whether it's against Ruiz, whether it's against one of the three UK guys, whether it's Joshua, rematch with Joyce, Dillian White, Tyson Fury, even Derek Chisora, even Joseph Parker. He should, pursue that because that's where the money is at. But he should definitely go home to China, get one in, get him a nice little 50,000, 60,000 sold out, and then go from there and see what do. But if I was him, I'd sit on that belt for a little bit and enjoy being the first Chinese heavyweight champion.
Oh yeah, freaking get the bag. The mandatory, make him come to China.
Exactly.
Make him come to China, get the bag. You know he's gonna be freaking supported out the wang out there because he's the first Chinese heavyweight champion.
They have many people. Yes.
And then
that was for a belt?
Huh?
That was for a belt?
That was for the vacant, because correct me if I'm wrong, Twan. WBA has the regular and the super, but WBO, if somebody's inactive, because I think Usyk was inactive long enough fooling around with Fury that ended up being like an interim. So Usyk or whoever is still technically champion, but they got to still keep it moving. So so-and-so is still a champion at the same time.
It's a regular champion. They get the interim champion. Okay. That's
because they got to keep it moving.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same way like UFC. Like they have their regular champion, but if so happen the champion be injured or something happened in their camp where they can't fight, then they'll vacate and have an interim champion. Kind of what happened with Izzy a couple years ago when he fought Gastelum, because Whitaker, he got injured. And so he had to vacate for a while. He's still the champion, but it wasn't because he didn't make weight. It was because he was injured. So he's still the champion. So Gastelum and Izzy fought for the interim middleweight championship. And then from there, what would happen, what Zhang should do is get one fight in. They may make him Usyk's mandatory for the WBO because he is the interim champion. That's what may happen.
Yeah, he'll fight. Yeah, he'll eventually fight the number one champion or mandatory. Mm-hmm. But, the sanctioning bodies understood how big of a deal it was for Fury versus Usyk, how much money. And then that stalled out. And I'm starting to believe what Twan said. I didn't think Tyson Fury was scared, but I think deep down he is scared of Usyk because it doesn't make any sense why he wouldn't make that fight. You can say money all you want to. It's supposed to be for legacy. You know, I think that's a bunch of horse crap that
and
they
he was
didn't
getting most of the money. He was getting all the money. He was getting 70-30
right.
anyway.
And it really pisses me off, fellas, because that's 2 weeks we would. So like next week would have been Tank Garcia. That next week was supposed to be Fury Usyk, and then the next week was going to be Canelo Ryder. So that would have been 3 weeks of just good matches we'd have saw. So that actually really pissed me off. They didn't get that done.
Definitely.
Speaking of that, are we gonna hit these pound for pounds? I already told Mash yesterday. My pound for pound ranking is wild.
Yeah, and I told him, and I told him Dez already said he had this done on Wednesday.
Yeah, I told him I wasn't even close.
I look, I did mine. Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday, definitely. I mean, I think mine's a little different from a lot. It might be mostly similar. I mean, we watch boxing, so we know like I was probably similar, but. That was
I'm pretty sure we have all the same names, just where they're
just where they rank that is gonna be funny. But shout out to Zay, man. He threw his name in that hat for one of the top,
I mean, we did a heavyweight pound for pound last week. He's out of my. I mean, what's his name? Joyce is out of my heavyweight pound for pound now.
Throw him in there now. We gotta put him in front of Joe Joyce. He's in front of Joe Joyce now.
Now this we doing our pound for pound overall or pound for pound heavyweight?
I did pound for pound overall.
Overall.
Yeah, that's one with Zhang is out of there when it comes to the heavy. I mean, Joe Joyce, he got the boot. Y'all know on Snapchat where it show you kicking somebody out. They got the little emoji where you kicking them in the butt and they go flying. Like that's where I'm at with Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
Joe Joyce, come on over to USA and get an American trainer because they was on some nut you know what stuff yesterday. That was some nut.
They let him down.
Huh?
I'd have been cussing my team out.
I don't know what that was about. And they're looking like a damn robot. I'm sitting there like, man, I could beat him like that. You throwing so dead. I just be in shape. Move around. 1, 2, 3. Move around. You some slow shit. Whoop.
Like, he's just touching them. They're just touching them. He's touching them anywhere to be defensive. I was like, what the fuck?
He was real robotic. Like his movements wasn't fluid. Like to be a great boxer, you need to be
just looked
fluid.
uncomfortable.
You know what I mean? So like move. And then on top of that, his head is right on line for the fucking straight.
Yeah, he just
man. Like he didn't move his head. He got a lot of work on though.
Yeah, he looked uncomfortable. He just looked very, very, very uncomfortable. Like he never like I told Dez, I'm like he there was no way he sparred a southpaw. There was no way he sparred a southpaw before this fight. He may have fought.
And then you know what's sad, Twan? Even if he didn't spar a southpaw, like you said, if he just had some sort of defense, it would be fine.
Then that still goes back to his camp. Like his team ultimately let him down.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, even if he never fought a southpaw and his defense was still like subpar, that's his team's fault for not recognizing that his defense isn't at elite level. Like you have to have an elite type defense. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have Floyd Mayweather defense. You don't need to have freaking Whitaker defense, but you need to have some type of defense because the guys who you're fighting for belts now, they're the top in the world. They don't play around. They don't mess around.
Yeah, they must have been getting high off that good UK dust or something. I don't know what that was about.
You out here fighting heavyweights, man.
They got that stuff y'all had from the wire over there in UK now or something. They bugging.
And they had something over there because he just looked so uncomfortable. Like
y'all better stop importing that stuff from East Baltimore, West Baltimore over there because they ain't getting it right. They tripping.
That's
I don't know what they
figure it out. They figure it out. Shoot. So I'm gonna let y'all know my pound for pound honorable mention. Y'all may have a fit. So my honorable mention is Charlo, Big Charlo, better be the.
Hold up. 160 Charlo? You ain't got 154 Charlo, but you got 160 Charlo?
No, who has the most belts? I think it's 54 Charlo. I think it's
154 Charlo is the man.
Yeah. I said baby Charlo. So
you said baby Charlo. I thought you said Big Charlo. I was like, Big Charlo ain't fought nobody.
No, baby Charlo, then Artur Beterbiev, Fulton and Ennis. Those are my honorable mentions on my pound for pound.
That's a solid one.
So the only how I do my pound for pound is literally pound for pound. So you have to have multiple division championships. It don't matter if you're undisputed or not undisputed. You can be undisputed and only been one weight class. I don't consider you a pound for pound. Like that's just me because like, dude, how you want to be a pound for pound, but you are either you can't move up or down in weight, and you can't move or you don't want to move either up or down in weight. That's the only reason why I have those 4 in. They are our champions, but they all are champions with only one division.
Right.
So that's my honorable mentions. My number 10 is Bivol.
That's about close to where I had mine, actually.
Is 10. He's, even though he has one division champ, he's only a champ in one division. From all the one division champs I put in, who would actually win if they were to go head to head in the same weight class? I put Bivol over all of them. That's why he's my number 10. My number 9 is Fury. I don't care what a lot of people say. A lot of people are like, oh, Fury should be like number 2 or number 1. No, he shouldn't. He only won in one division. He hasn't went to cruiserweight. He didn't go to light heavy. He only has one belt in heavyweight, and he's scared to fight freaking Usyk.
He is.
I
agree with you now, because it's no point. There's no point in depriving us that fight, man. It's really like unnecessary.
So that's why I got Fury at number 9.
Hold on, my bad, fellas. I was gone for the what's it called? Say yours again one more time.
He just started. He only did 2.
My bad.
All right, so I told my honorable mention is Baby Charlo, Bardabiva, Fulton, and Ennis. My number 10 is Bivol. My number 9 is Fury. Number 8, I threw Stevenson in there because he just showed out going up to 135. Like, that last fight for me, really like, okay, he's legit. He's for real.
Right.
My number 7 is Haney, because between the both of them, I feel as though right now, if they both were to go toe to toe, I think Haney would outlast Stevenson.
Edging, yeah.
Not by a lot, but just enough.
Right.
Number 6 right now, I have Usyk. The only reason why I don't have Usyk higher is because he's only been a champion in 2 weight classes. He's only been a champion in cruiserweight and heavyweight. Number 5, I have Inoue. Even I don't have him. If he beats Fulton, then he'll be higher on my list. 22nd. Number 4, I got Tank. He's a 3-division world champ. But I don't see him and Spence and Crawford if they were to go at it, because those are my 3-division champs that I saw right at the moment. Tank does not beat Spence. Tank does not beat Crawford.
Right.
So my number 4 is Tank. My number 3 is Spence. My number 2 is Crawford. And as much as people give Canelo hate, Canelo is still in my eyes still number 1 pound for pound. He's the only 4-division world champ right now.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Say about it. Like, it don't matter what a lot of people got to say about it. He still went from 147 up to light heavyweight, won championships in all 4 of those, fighting the best each time. Like,
no, it might be 5. It might actually be 5. It might be 147, 154, 160, 168, and 175. So it was 5. He beat Kovalov at 175.
Yeah, so he's beaten 5 champions. He was become champion in 5 different weight classes. Like, next to him, it's now you're talking all-time greats.
That's what I'm saying.
It comes down to that, because there's not very many. You got Pacquiao, who has 8. I think Mayweather has a good couple as well. I can't remember off the top of my head how many divisions he jumped up in. De La Hoya, Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson. Like, you got to start putting Canelo in that conversation when it comes out for pound, best ever, because he's like, you know what? Damn the money. I'm moving up so I can start putting that legacy.
Even all the boxers nowadays say, I want to get what, even Shakur, when he did his interview last week, he said, I want to get to that level where Canelo was at.
Exactly. And he showed it. That's why I have Shakur in my pound for pound now, because he jumped up to 35, gave smoke dude and said, look, I'm with all the smoke with the 35s. I'm here.
Yeah.
Come see me.
Right. You better be ready, though.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I can't wait.
Because I can see Ryan Garcia after you fight. What's the name? After he fight your boy Tank, I can see him being like, I'll fight Shakur, and that ain't gonna be no easy fight for Shakur either, because Ryan Garcia is strong.
Yeah. Right.
He's slower, but he's strong. So if he connects, Shakur gonna be like, oh, this is a lot harder than this Japanese dude.
Oh yeah.
Run yours down again. So who was your run yours down one more time, Twan? One more time.
So 10 is Bivol.
9
is Fury.
Fury.
8 is Stevenson.
Okay.
7 is Haney. 6 is
Okay.
Usyk. 5 is Inoue. 4 is Tank. 3 is Spence. 2 is Crawford. 1 is Canelo.
Got you. Okay. Got you. Go ahead, Cole. You about to go?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay.
I can go since you finished yours. So first, so I'm gonna do that. So mine's is I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go y'all boy. I'm gonna go 10 Shakur Stevenson. I'm gonna go 9 y'all boy Tank.
Okay.
8 is Usyk. 7 is Bam Bam Rodriguez. I'm doing a little home cooking right here in Texas.
Bam Bam.
Yep. Number 7. Am I on 7 or 6, fellas? 7, right?
7. Yep.
7. Artur Betterbeef.
Okay.
6. Devin Haney. 5. Tyson Fury. 4. Bud Crawford. 3 is Earl Spence Jr. 2. Hold on, did I miss one? Let me go. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And then I think let me do this again. 10 Shakur, 9 Tank, 8 Usyk, 7 Bam Rodriguez, 6 Better Beef, 5 Devin Haney, 4 Tyson Fury, 3 Crawford, 2 is Spence. I mean, well, I guess I missed one. So 2, well, I guess I did a top 9. 2 is Spence, and then number 1 is Canelo.
Okay. I did a top 9.
I did a top 9. I thought I had 10 in there. But
you got
I guess I could
in
put
there,
Inoue,
man.
fellas. No, actually, forget Inoue. I'm gonna put my man from Philly in there. I'll put Steph Fulton 10, and then I'll just do Shakur on down. And I think that's it.
Okay.
I do like Twan's mention of Baby Charlo, because he is a solid at 154.
Yeah.
It really ain't nobody. Keith Thurman is old and played out. Ain't really nobody at 147 that's really impressing me. I can't put Boots Ennis in there yet. He's got to fight somebody that's solid.
That's why I have him
I can't. Right.
Understood.
I can't put what's his name in there from Fort Worth, Texas, who just pulled out of his fight. Ortiz. I can't put him in there. I like Alec. I like Alexis Roach's heart for one Crawford, but I still can't put him in there yet.
Right.
Yeah, I can't do it. And the only heavyweight that's, like you said, the 2 heavyweights are Usyk and Fury. No light heavyweights are really impressing me right now. I mean, I guess Bill. You know what? I could do what him do. I take that out. Get rid of. Shout out to Fulton, representing Philly, but actually I put Bivol up there because Bivol's solid.
Yeah, Bivol's solid, definitely. Yeah.
So I give Bivol 10.
All right, let me make sure I got my order right real quick. 1 second, because I wrote it on my phone. I don't know why I ain't write it down on a piece of paper, but hold on 1 second. Let me make sure real quick. Jamal, Annie, okay. Can y'all still see me when I do that?
No, we can't, but it is what it is. We can hear you.
You see that? You see me? Okay. All right, so 1 second. Yeah, I should have wrote this shit on paper, fellas. My bad. I brung it up and I'm all.
You gotta just go off the top of your head. You'll forget. You'll remember.
All right, I was trying. All right, so I'm gonna name mine 1 to 10. Then, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go from the bottom up. So I got Bud Crawford number 1. I got Errol Spence number 2. That's why I want to see that fight so bad, because I feel like that's gonna be the pound for pound number 1.
They're gonna both be sitting around 60 years old, looking like what's the name? Joshua and what's his name? Wilder. They keep on playing. Them dudes missed out on $100 million a piece playing that stupid game.
That fight need to happen this year. I mean, he was saying in June. I think I ain't hear nothing else about it, like it was off or anything like that. So hopefully it's still going. So I got Crawford 1. I got Spence 2. I got Inouye 3. 4, I have Tyson Fury. 5, I have Bivol. 6, I have Canelo. 7th, I have what do I have at 7th? I have Usyk at 7th. I got Artur Beterbiev at 8.
Yeah,
I hope I said his last name, Beterbiev at 8. And then 9, I have Haney. More so, he's undisputed. I awarded people who was undisputed. I mean, I awarded Haney because he's undisputed, even though I don't think he's the best in that weight class. But right now, you have to give him his prize. He's undisputed right now. And then I have number 10. I had Jamel, other undisputed guy. Even though he needs to put some more fights on, he's undisputed. So I got him at number 10. I ain't even had my boy Tank in there yet. You feel me? Tank coming though. I ain't even had Tank.
I said the only reason why I got Tank so high is what I just told Mash. Is like how I feel about pound for pound is literally
pound for pound. That's
moving
right.
in weight class.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I want Baby Charlo in there, but even as him undisputed, he hasn't moved up in weight to challenge for that. Yep. Like, I want Spencer Crawford up there, but they haven't moved.
So you was awarding more so people that jumped up in weight class.
Yeah, like again, that's the reason why I have Canelo at 1 because his past, literally all his fights were 47, 54, 60, 68, 75. He's gonna jump back down to 68 to fight for his title. Then he's going back up to 75 to fight Bivol. I'm like, all right,
legendary. Yeah.
So they're literally taking the route that Pacquiao took when he was number 1 for that long.
Yeah, Pacquiao was running through.
From his I want to say either 05 to 08 or right around that time where he just ran through from bantamweight all the way up to super welterweight and just was just taking titles, just smashing on everybody. I'm like, okay, and then the same with the greats. The greats did the same thing. Sugar Ray Robinson did it. Sugar Ray Leonard did it. Roberto Duran, he did it, even though he got crushed by goddamn Sugar Ray Leonard when he did it. Hitman Hearns did it. Who's my boy? Freaking bald head, 80s. I fight just like him.
Hagler.
Thank you. Yes, Hagler.
Marvelous. Yeah.
Hagler did it. So you got the Kings in the 80s that did the exact same thing. Like, I'm really glad now that I see.
Did you see that documentary, by the way?
Yeah.
On Showtime? Yeah, that was good.
That was great.
I missed that. Which one?
It was on Showtime. It's called The Kings, and it's got
the three Kings.
All the Kings.
I didn't see it though. I wanted to see it.
Great.
Yeah, you should see that. It's really good.
I'm gonna check it out.
I want. Go ahead, Twan.
So, I'm glad that the younger fighters are now taking that 80s mentality. They're going to get their money. That's their thinking. We're gonna get our money either way. But in order for us to really stamp our names into these history books, we have to either move up in weight to fight the best, or flat out fight the best in our weight class. Because you need to know, am I really better than this person? The only way you're really gonna know is if we all get in a ring and we find out, instead of I beat him and you didn't beat him, or I beat him, you beat him, but you didn't beat this guy, you didn't fight this guy. Now, with all these fights coming up, they're literally I can beat you. No, I can beat you. Oh, we just gonna settle it real quick. It takes you back to when you was in school and you was talking that noise yo, you ain't ish. And
I miss them days. These punks nowadays, all they can now do is grab a gun.
Yeah, we go right in the schoolyard, throw hands either before or after school,
and that's it.
Bus stop, and you dap up and you keep pushing.
Yeah, that's it. And then if you get him in 9th grade that you've been working on your skills, you got it. But it wasn't nobody getting their life ended. I want to talk about Anthony Yard real quick. And Dez, when we first started the show not too long ago, Yard had just lost to Beterbiev when we talked about that. Some of his comments, fellas, have kind of perturbed me because when he fought Beterbiev, I had actually put faith in him to be like, Yard, I think you can pull this off if you just fight hard. And then after watching the fight, everybody did the jokes about the muscles and him and Joshua and how they gas out. But he did a bunch of controversial interviews lately that first, number one, the first interview, it kind of raised my eyebrow. He going to be like, say to Joe Joyce, why take this fight? Why take this chance? And I'm sitting there looking at him like, why the F would he not take that fight? Why would he not? Like, what you talking about, dude?
You talking about the dude he just fought?
Yeah. I'm like, well, he said that yesterday. But then earlier in the week, he gets mad saying, because somebody asked about him and Anthony Joshua, and he says, F you and F them. I meant to put a clip on there.
Oh, that's what you sent me yesterday.
Yeah. But to me, I'm sitting there, and this is Yard, Anthony Yard, the one that lost to Better Beef. He's a little smart. Yeah. Then he gets on there and he's talking about something. Y'all just see me y'all just see me posting on this. I was in the Dominican doing this, but I'm always working. Man, Anthony Yard, shut that BS up. All you ever do is post on your Instagram trying to show your little muscle six pack off, trying to get all the little UK girls to comment on. You on that? You barely post anything about working, and you said. And to me, I saw his priorities, because when he walked away from that ring and he was cool with that, and I seen he wasn't throwing all he could throw when he was fighting Better Beef. And even when he had him hurt, we talked about that. He gassed up or he stopped. I'm just like, dude, you was just happy to just be in there to get a check. So I can't take you serious when you talk trash, because when you get in the ring, you don't do shit. Yeah. You be on some steroids, run out of muscles BS, and I just be like, yo, man, get out of here, man. You gonna sit there and be talking trash, talking about he shouldn't have took the fight. Matter of fact, I respect Joe Joyce for taking the fight. Why would he not take the fight?
Right. He shouldn't really feared that guy. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
I guess because, like I said, Styles may fight. I mean, he thought, like Twan said, I don't think Joe Joyce never fought a southpaw, for one. And the guy was he was big. I mean, he must have seen something that we didn't see. That's probably what it was. He knew Joe Joyce don't move like that or something.
Joyce, but okay, so what are you gonna do, fellas? Get embarrassed by Joshua or somebody else later? Because right now, I respect Joe Joyce for this. They asked him about Wilder before, and then Joe Joyce was like, "I ain't gonna answer that question." That dude. So I think Joe Joyce knew Wilder.
Wilder would have knocked him the fuck out, like how he did Joseph Parker. Probably it would have been a bad. It would have been a bad knockout, because his head is right on line. You know what I mean?
He don't move his head like at all. You learn that early. Like, you need to stay off the center line when you're throwing your punches.
Exactly. Like, he was talking about bone density before the fight and all that. He was talking about he got the most bone density.
That don't matter.
I was like, what the fuck? They got mad.
Bone density don't matter if you get hit
up. Exactly, or cut, anything like that.
And bone density don't matter if you get hit in your sweet spot. You will still go to sleep.
Exactly.
Bone density.
So that was like,
they was talking about that bone density yesterday. I'm like, what that got to do with somebody bust you upside your head?
Like, he got the highest bone density.
Like, what that got to do with?
Joe Joyce needs to freaking change camps. He needs to, him and his trainer, either one need to sit down and have like a serious conversation, have a heart to heart. Like, hey, yo, from watching my tape, because I already know he's watching the tape of his fight.
Oh yeah, he's definitely watching that.
Either we need to one change up something, or I need to change teams. And get
I'm still trying to comprehend what you're saying, Twan. It's like what was your game plan? Like that was your game plan going in there doing that? I'm gonna rely on my chin, and then I'm gonna get like, what?
It's not what are you doing? Like, don't get me wrong. Who is it? Mexican dude fought De La Hoya, fought Felix Trinidad.
Mayorga.
His name. Mayorga, yes.
Mayorga from like Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a crazy fighter.
He
came to the ring with the cigarette in his mouth.
He has a hell of a chin.
He did.
He has a hell of a chin. But what happened?
Oscar beat him up. Oscar unloaded them jabs on that jaw.
Yeah.
Oscar did it. Phoenix Trinidad did it.
Shoot, Shane Mosley put him to sleep.
Yeah, so
Joe
Joyce, you need to take lessons from like the past. Like, chins are good, but you need to have a defense.
Right, but don't rely on. Don't be like, go ahead, hit my chin, and then come like that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, like
the same thing. He was like, I'm bravado. You can hit me. I'm not getting knocked out. I think that was Joe Joyce's little low key, his little thing. Like, oh, he's not gonna knock me out. but he may stop you if he hits you in your face enough, which he did.
And you ain't throwing back, and you throwing slow.
Like and again, he was 6'8", 280. Do people know how big that is? I didn't even know he was that big.
Yeah, Joe Joyce.
I didn't know he was that big.
Joyce dumb himself for losing weight.
He's about as big as Tyson.
Like as soon as he came in the ring, I said, "Oh, that's a big boy."
Yeah.
I said just like that. I'm like, "Oh, he's huge. Good lord!"
Right.
Like my God. And you notice it from like the first round. As soon as he popped him with that first left straight and his head went back, that should let you know from the break. Like, oh, like again, I know in my fights, I know from the break. Like if it's a bigger dude who I didn't expect to be bigger, and the first shot I take, I'm like, oh. Like I need to.
Yeah, you better wake up real quick.
I need to start moving quickly.
Right.
That's where Floyd Mayweather's greatness come in. When he was shocked, he adapted. These other dudes, they get shocked and they don't know how to adapt. Well, they don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of fighters don't adapt on the fly as good as Floyd. Like he was blessed with that too, being a smart technician. With
That's part of being a good coach.
Exactly.
Good football coach.
I think a lot of
Bill
people.
Belichick. Go ahead, Les.
I think a lot of guys just go in there with one game plan, and if it don't work, then they're asked out.
Right, and then they on Instagram. Do I still got it? Why? No, but with Bill Belichick, it was like this. One was crazy about Bill Belichick to me is just like they think he's this great coach. No, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady they prepared all week, but they were the best in-game strategists. Hey, we prepared for that. The year y'all beat them, Ray Lewis and them, they was like, all right, but Ray Lewis and them, they came with a different game plan. They beat us last year at our place, and it was the last Super Bowl I think y'all won. Then the next year, y'all remember Tom Brady, and it was just like, all right, now we got 2 extra game plans. So a lot of this stuff is in-game strategy. The best basketball coaches, in-game strategy. Go ahead, Twan.
Bill Belichick, they say it all the time. Bill Belichick's game plan is simple. Take away your best thing.
Right. And then he makes great adjustments.
And that's what people in boxing need to understand. Like, that's why I'm kind of interested to see what's going to go down with this Tank Garcia fight. Because
somebody might make an adjustment.
Because everybody's
going to have to make an adjustment. Right. Like, hey, and by the way, fellas, what day do we want to do that this week? Like midweek? Just a preview? Or do y'all want to go Saturday morning? Like, do y'all still want to do like a weeknight this week because it's fight week?
You can if you want.
We can Thursday, probably kind of close to the fight. Thursday, right? Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
Thursday be good.
And then after you make this point, Twan, I want to go ahead and touch on something. I want both of y'all opinion on something.
All right. Okay. So, like, they've been coming out a little bit more after the second episode of this is what they're going to do, and then you have all the boxing legends starting to pick. Like, I know De La Hoya's like, I got Garcia winning if he catches Tank coming in with the hook. But I'm sitting there like, I don't think people are giving Tank enough credit with his IQ. Like,
never did.
Garcia has a great IQ in the ring, but Garcia has a very bad flaw with his defense. It's something that I know we learned not to hold both your arms.
And he ain't got no chin. If Tank hit him, it's over for him.
Yeah, but the way he so when you're boxing and when you're defending, like, you want to keep like your arms in, and you kind of want to like roll with your punches. Because Garcia is so tall in a weight class where it's a lot of shorter fighters, he holds his arms out and keeps his chin up. Now, there was a little bit of intentional leaked footage. Everybody's like, "Oh, Tank leaked his sparring out," but again, Tank is smart, so he intentionally put this out there.
But y'all know a lot of y'all know a lot of that stuff don't mean nothing until you get in the ring.
So, Tank, you see Tank literally starting to move as he's throwing a hook. He's coming in, throwing a straight left into the body, then throwing a check hook to the body, and then rolling out of the way of that check hook that Garcia will throw. So what I'm interested in seeing is, number one, if Tank gets hit flush with the hook, how is he going to take it? Number two, if Garcia throws the hook enough and Tank is either slipping in or finding a way around it and countering it, because everybody's saying, oh, Tank relies on the overhand left. I'm like, that is not his punch. His punch is a left uppercut. And the way he gets his left uppercut is working his way in with his jab. Yeah. Because I know I use it. I used it in one of my fights where I'm like, okay, I see how he throws it. He throws a left to get in, so he gets a nice little angle to pop the left up to catch you right on the inside. Because he's only 5'5", But the thing that people also are not realizing is
I thought he was 5'7". He only 5'5". Damn,
he's 5'5", but the reach is a lot closer than a lot of people give credit for. Tank has longer arms for him being 5'5".
It's a lot of football players like that, Twan, that they'll be short, like running backs or wide receivers. They'll be not as tall, but they'll have long arms. That's how they're able to get away from a lot of DBs and linebackers.
So they saying Garcia only has a 3-inch reach advantage.
Yeah.
3 inches is a lot closer than what Garcia is giving Tank credit for. He's thinking he's just going to walk him in, walk him back, sit on his back foot, and just catch him with the hook.
Yeah, didn't Rolly have that same arm reach advantage over Tank?
Yes.
So that's what I said. That don't matter.
Barrios had it too. So
Barrios definitely had it. He from right around here. He definitely had it.
Yeah,
he might have had more.
Yeah,
Barrios might have more of a reach actually.
Yeah,
Barrios is actually pretty tall for 140. Yeah. So let me ask y'all this. Yeah. I was watching something the other day, and I seen how they build fighters, and I was watching that Mason Abdullah, that Abdullah Mason cat. I was just watching some of the top ranked cards from Robesi Ramirez, the undercards, because I didn't catch up. And I noticed how they build fighters now, fellas. What fighters come nowadays, what they do initially is they throw them all in there, and they'll say, okay, here is a guy who used to fight, or he used to be a world champion. I think, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, this is how they should build them. Your first 4 fights should be like that guy who was a career, how do you say it? What do they call in the UK? In the UK, they call it something different. They say, because they were saying like in the UK it's different than in America. I remember a UK guy commented on one of my videos years ago. He said he said a journeyman in the UK is different than in the United States. He says once you get so many losses, you in the UK you can actually make a career out of being a journeyman. Whereas
that's what Gamboa is right now.
Right. Whereas in the United States, you can't get a career. Like UK literally has people, Twan, that are millionaires off of being just journeymen. So
trash cans.
Right. So what happens is, what I'm saying is, when you get those first 4 fights, I feel like they should get those guys, a 4-rounder. Then they should get 3 or 4 fights as a 6-rounder. Then I think they should get 3 or 4 more fights as an 8-rounder. But when they get to like that 15-0, fellas, as we saw last week with Brandon Lee, and I saw with some other guys, they were talking about it. And by the way, Tim Bradley, we're going to talk about him. Tim Bradley.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Tim Bradley.
He's a POS. I was sitting there laughing. I'm like, Tim, man, like I want to get mad, but then I start laughing. I was like, man, he's more of a dickhead than I am. I'm like, Tim, you're a dickhead.
Tim Bradley's something else.
He's straight dickhead. I was like, man, this dude's a straight dickhead. But once they get to that 15-0 mark, I feel like they should do this, fellas, before they try and jump into the winning title sweepstakes, so you don't, get your career in the early like Teofimo may. I feel like the next 3 fights should be guys who were contenders, like who at one point contended for a title. So, they got like 5 or 6 losses, but 2 or 3 years prior, they contended for a title.
They had a title shot or something. Yeah.
They had a title shot. Then after that, then you go after dudes that are former champions, but they like 3 years removed from being a former champion.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think once you get to 20, you should be like, all right, now it's time to go get that top guy. Now it's time to go get my title shot. I feel like what they do now, and I think y'all seen this syndrome, is they trying so hard to compare to Floyd and be undefeated. These dudes, they'll be throwing them out there. 13-0, he's this. 13-0. Back in my day, you had to at least be 20-0 before they start talking about you.
Yeah.
Now it's like they're 10-0, 11-0. We're just throwing them out there. And then by the time they get to 25 fights, they're like 24-6, and they're not this hype job.
Okay.
I really think they need to learn how to build boxers again, fellas. They're just trying to throw them in the fire too fast. Like, yo, time out, dog. We got to build a big pay-per-view. I'm pissed off it took Tank and Ryan this long, but I think they did it better than Wilder and Joshua did, where it wasn't so long, but it
definitely
too quick.
They're both in their 20s, so they didn't really take. I mean, it ain't like we had it. They're both in their 20s, so we're getting it kind of. I mean, it could have happened a couple years ago, but I think the build up.
This is perfect timing.
Yeah, I think it's perfect timing. I think it's perfect timing right now. Definitely, I definitely think it's perfect timing. Corey, I agree, man. I think they do that with some fight. I think if the fighter, the fighter got real potential to be that. I
Right.
think they do go that route. They try to protect them a little bit. Get those journeyman fights. Somebody that has a name. So when he go in there, you be like, oh, I remember he fought this guy. This guy used to be kind of good.
Yes.
So it works off the other opponent's name a little bit. But yeah, I agree. That's the best way to build your fights. But on the
Let me
back
give
end
y'all
of
a
that,
perfect example. Edgar Berlanga.
Belega.
Remember? Edgar Berlanga. And I
Oh
saw
yeah,
him do the interview in the ring. He was here in town last week with San
yeah.
Antonio because he signed the Matchroom. Perfect thing. I remember one time his trainer Dre, who was Dre was Danny Jacobs' trainer at one time, and he says, I think he'll be ready for Canelo in a couple fights. Man, y'all tell me why as soon as he said that, the next fight he got put on his butt.
Exactly, and it hasn't looked good, since then.
It hasn't looked good since then, and it's just like, yo, chill out, get the man 20 fights, build him up. They be so quick to try and throw this Terminator in there with the pound for pound guy, and they be getting these kids flatlined quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my viewpoint has a lot to do with a lot of fighters either know amateurs. I think I was trying to talk to Mash about that a couple weeks ago. So amateurs have such a workload. Like they have a legit workload. If any of you guys been in the amateur scene, like
oh yeah, it's crazy.
They don't just do.
I went to Summit Cincinnati. I remember when Broner was young. But go ahead.
So they don't just do like one fight like pros do. They literally do tournaments.
You've had hundreds of fights by the time you get.
They've gotten rounds. Like let's see, Tank had over 150 fights. Garcia's had 200 fights. Both my brothers, they have well over 200 fights. And my one little brother, he's 22. My baby brother's 17. And they've been fighting since they were younger. They have well over 200 fights. So once they see somebody who has that potential, they want to do what they're doing with the UFC and push their person. So they're like,
but you know what, Twan? The UFC. Here's what I respect about the UFC, Twan. When a lot of them guys get in the UFC, like even the Khabibs and all that stuff, they don't have like 5-10 fights in Russia already.
Yeah,
Izzy was a kickboxing champion first. So they got professional experience. I feel like in boxing, Twan, we got the amateurs, we got the Olympics. Some people go back for the Olympics again, and then it's like, boom, throw them right into the ring. So and it's like they going straight from amateur to pro, whereas in the MMA, it's like they were pro at Bellator, one fighting championship, some BS lower league first. So they knew what it was like to be a pro first and take them hits. Whereas I feel like us, Twan, now you're taking the thing off your head. Now in
the Olympics, they don't wear headgear no more. So Olympics, they don't do headgear. So it's like literally, you got your amateurs. Then for the younger kids, they got the silver gloves. For everybody else, they got golden gloves.
Golden gloves, yeah.
Then you go to the Olympics. Now from there, you can choose. Your team will let you know in the Olympics, like, oh, we feel as though you can come back to the Olympics, or I feel as though your style isn't suited for Olympic competition. You should go the pro route.
Yeah. There's some guys that are way better pros than Olympians.
So they'll throw them into maybe 1 or 2 fights to see how they do. And everybody starts out with 4-round fights. Everybody will start off with like 1 or 2 4-round pro fights just to get their feet wet to see if you really about it and if you have that type of potential. Now from there, you'll go to your 6-round fights. And then you'll start to get your build up either in your state or in your region. And once you get good like that, then you can go to your 8-round fights. And that's when you got your big brands top rank, Showtime, DAZN. There's another one.
You got Fight TV. You got what's the thing? The Triller.
Yeah, so you got all these other scouts essentially looking at you, saying, okay, he's got some legit potential, not just in the ring, but like personality. Because again, boxing's still about the money. And that's why they push the young kids that only have 11 fights, 12 fights, 13 fights. Yeah, they're undefeated, but I don't know if they're taking the effect that, oh, he's done amateurs for so long, or maybe he
they'll give him 1 8-round fight, Twan, and then throw him in there with something like, dude, that's 1 8-round fight. That ain't 2.
Yeah, so, but what is supposed to happen in camp is you're not supposed to prep for a fight that's only 4 rounds. You're supposed to prep for a 4-round fight like it's a 6-round fight.
Right.
6-round fight like it's an 8-round fight, because you want to have that type of stamina just in case you have to like if you get like a pressure fighter, there's a guy that I fought down in Florida who was a pressure fighter. Like he was in your pocket at all times.
Right.
You got film on him. So my dad, he literally prepped me instead of a 3-round fight. He prepped me like a 6-round fight because he already told me. He's like, hey, you're going to it's like this guy's gonna be in your pocket the entire fight. So you're going to have to use your hands. You are going to be tired by the first round. Like your legs are going to feel like crap after the first round. I need you to be prepared. A lot of the fighters now aren't prepared for that 8-10 round fight because they're only sparring. Like everybody's like, oh, training's right, but sparring, in my opinion, is the most important thing when it comes to a camp. Because number one, you get the tape on your person you're fighting, so you have that kind of person to emulate the fighter. And two, there's nothing like being in the ring. And I remember my first fight. I thought I had dude. Swear to God I did. My legs did not. At all. And I hear my dad in the corner yelling.
Just like Sebastian last week. He was like, I can't get up.
No, like,
his legs wasn't working.
I'm like, my legs weren't moving. Like, I had them. Even the judges on the scorecard, they're like, yo, you were up. What happened? I was like, my legs. Right. That dude put me on my ass, like, knocked me out because I couldn't move.
Yeah.
So that's what they have to really worry about now. They're like, oh, we can push the dude, but is he physically ready? Is he mentally prepared for when you eventually lose that O? I think that's why I went back to, like, I'm really happy with these top guys now taking more of that A's approach. Like, I don't care about my O. I just want to fight.
Right. Like, that's a good Corey, that's a good way to build those fights. But on the back end of that, like on the flip side of that, as long as they don't wait and cherry pick too long. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you guys an example. Jaime, what's his last name?
Jaime Munguia sucks. I was all about Jaime Munguia for the longest time. He beat my man Saddam Ali. I'm like, yo, this dude dope, this, that. Man, he sucks. He ain't trying to fight nobody.
I said this dude was dope when he first came. He was like 2021. I first seen him fight. I'm like, yo,
I saw him first fight like 2016, Daz. 2017.
Yeah, I'm like, dude is gonna be special. I'm like, yo, I can't wait till he get to come out. I'm like, dude is gonna be special. We're in 2023 now. It's been about 7 years, about 5, 6 years. He still has no
he ain't fought Triple G. Fight. He ain't fought a Charlo. He ain't fought mother effing Andrade. Nobody. He ain't fought Canelo. He ain't fought nobody. His toughest fight was Gabe Rosado, and he couldn't even knock Gabe Rosado out. Gabe went toe-to-toe with him, and that was it.
So that's the only thing I worry about is, you gotta build your fighters up, but after a while, man, you gotta start fighting. You gotta start.
Jaime Munguia is out. You right, Daz. Jaime Munguia is out of that because it's like who I want to see him fight now.
Exactly, and
he might be able to fight Zerto or something like. He can fight Zerto maybe, and that might be good for Mexico. But other than that, it's like you gotta fight somebody legit. You fought nobody.
Nobody. And he got the skills from what I mean from.
But he may not have. But he may not have it up here though. His team may recognize like.
Let me look him up real quick while y'all talking about it. I'm gonna see if he fights soon.
He may have all the skill in the world, but kind of, and that's what I kind of give Ryan Garcia credit for. Is I may not like him as a person because I think he's a show it off, but he recognized like up here wasn't ready. Like they could have made that fight years ago, but he was battling some demons.
Right.
And he came out.
And that's what I respect about Ryan, what Juan just said. Is that in my eyes and Canelo eyes a couple of years ago, you would think, oh, Jaime Munguia is the more legit he'd fight. Now it's looking like, no, Ryan Garcia is more legit because he was willing to step up his game. Yeah, Munguia ain't for the damn person.
Like, Garcia literally said, like, I would have fought Tank like a couple of years ago. We was going to make it happen, but my mental wasn't there.
I mean, listen to this garbage, guys. I want y'all to listen to this real quick. May 2018. I had never heard of him. Saw him on HBO Boxing. That was when they still had HBO Boxing. I think it was like 2 years left on HBO Boxing. Mm-hmm. He goes and he knocks out Saddam Ali. Okay, sweet. Then he goes and beats Liam Smith, and this is at 154. And then he was a big ass 154 when I saw him.
That was a decent win for him, Liam Smith.
Yeah, and then that was decent. Those two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since then, Brandon Cook, Takashi Inoue, not the real Inoue, some dude named Takashi Inoue, Dennis Hogan, mother effing Gary O'Sullivan, Torreno Johnson, Camille Swermata, Gabe Rosado was all right. That was in 2021 November. Demetrius Ballard, I ain't never heard of him. Jimmy Kelly and his last one in November, Gonzalo Gaston Corey. Yo, that's about 10 fights, and I've heard of maybe 2 people. First 2. Yeah, he ain't fought nobody.
Yeah, you better.
He's regressing, ain't he? Like his face done started regressing, and I don't understand. Matter of fact,
and I don't think he understands. Like down here, he had a fan base, fellas, because it's Texas. It's right. Like when Canelo, a lot of times he fight here. Figueroas will fight here. When Tank Davis fought Leo Santa Cruz, it was here because California had all the ridiculous COVID restrictions, but Texas didn't.
Texas. Yeah.
So right now he's losing those fans in Texas too, because it's just like, where the hell you been at?
Where you been at? He had a little wave going too. Like he had a wave. He was
literally number 2 behind Canelo at one point.
Yes, sir.
It was him and Canelo. Now they ain't like I think Oscar Valdez could do better than him, and Oscar ain't won in a minute. Michelle, he lost it. He can do it. Like it's so many Mexican fighters that he's behind now. It's like, and then he fought in November. It's April, guys. What is he doing? He got to get back in the ring soon.
And I'm not too sure, Cole. You might can look this up. I think he offered him a title shot against. I think he turned it down. It
was Andre, wasn't it? He backed out like a wuss.
Exactly. He backed out of that fight. I'm like, bro, you got like 40 fights now. So it's like, it's time.
You need to put your life.
Because Canelo had 1 million fights when he came over from Mexico, but the thing is, Canelo jumped right in there and got busy, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Canelo was built different.
Yeah, he is. Canelo went from Shane Mosley to Angulo. To this guy, to Mayweather,
and then he just started moving. I'm just like,
Erislandy Lara, like you can say what he want. I don't see the dudes Canelo fighting everybody like he wasn't that impressive. These are all dudes that had titles and they were top 10 guys. I know everybody is upset about the Boo Boo Andre Canelo thing, but remember, Boo Boo Andre was set up to fight Billy Joe Saunders. That fight didn't happen because Billy Joe got caught on some type of steroid or something. So then Canelo fights Billy Joe and whoops him. That's what I'm saying. So it's not like Canelo is fighting like bums or he's running. It's just like the circumstances there. And then once you get to the matter of fact, let me play it for Twan real quick. See if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can see Canelo telling Demetrius Andre what to do. Let me see if it's. Yeah, you remember that night when he told Andre that?
Yeah,
like you get that, and to me, Andre is a great fighter. But I believe, and they say Canelo's ducking Andre, but I look at people saying Canelo ducking Andre is the same way they would say that that Floyd Mayweather was ducking Amir Khan.
I don't think they were ducking anybody. I feel as though
Canelo will make the fights that make him some bread.
Exactly. He's the face of boxing right now. Like just like Floyd. Like when Floyd was the face of boxing, like he could literally be like, "I want you."
Right. Once you get to that level.
And the sad thing about it, fellas, is this. Andre, I mean, it looks like Andre woke up and he finally is ready to fight somebody at PBC, which Andre, nobody talked about this in 2013, 2014. He was supposed to fight one of the Charlos and he pulled out, and that was going to be his biggest purse at that time. Later on, he ended up suing Jay-Z at Rock Nation. Then he goes through the zone. Boo Boo, we talked about this before, Des. Boo Boo doesn't make good business decisions. Most importantly, exactly. He finally signed with PBC, but now he's in his early 30s, maybe going into his mid 30s. If Boo Boo Andre had his stuff together, what he would be doing is what y'all boy Tank did right there in Baltimore. Tank didn't chase nobody. Tank built a hell of a following. Everywhere he go is sold out. He's the man with the master plan. If Boo Boo was nice on the mic, like he says, he would have built a following as to where Canelo would have to. Remember when Canelo first fought Triple G the first time, I thought it was unfair because I didn't think Canelo was ready for him. They was making Canelo jump up and wait, and it was my argument about Triple G we had that one week, Des, where it's like Floyd got to come up and wait. This person got to come up and wait. Everybody got to come up and wait and fight Triple G, but Triple G don't have to come up and wait and fight Andre Ward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, if Boo Boo would have did it right, he would have such a following that people would have had to put pressure on him like they put on Canelo when they was like, hey, we want you to fight Triple G.
Mm-hmm.
But he never did that. He just keeps showing up at press conferences and doing this like, dog, that ain't how boxing work no more. You got to bring the dollars. Ryan Garcia ain't got to show up at no press conference and do nothing.
No, because he already built his following on Instagram.
That following, yeah. That following.
So his name. So what I think boxers need to understand is, if you're going pro and you really want to make that bread, it's all about the name. Like, don't get me wrong, you can have all the skill in the world, but people who really want to make that money, if you really want to be seen as that, as far as like money's concerned, you need to put out your name in a way that people can relate to. More of the younger crowd can relate to.
Yeah.
Again, I think I'm probably the youngest out of y'all, and I'm like 31, but still, like, people who are younger than me, they're like, oh, you see this person fight, da 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 da. I saw them. They pull up a TikTok video of them in the gym.
But ain't you about you a little younger than Boo Boo, right? You may be like a year or two younger than Boo Boo, right, Twan?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So he's like 31 is still a good prime. You can still get busy. 33, there ain't but one 33-year-old fellas that's phenomenal, and that was Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
Everybody else 33, they starting to fade a little bit.
There was another one back in like the
Canelo's your age, right? You Canelo's age, right, Twan?
Huh?
You Canelo's age, right, Twan?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're both 31.
Yeah, y'all both about the same age.
I think
you got Bud at 35. You know, he's probably like
Bud look good. Earl might be 1 year younger than Twan. He might be exactly 30.
I think Earl is 30. I think Crawford, is right around the same age too.
Yeah, Crawford's a little older, I think.
Yeah, how old Lomachenko? What, 33?
Loma's old, almost like 36, 37.
Oh shit. Yeah, I think him and Bud Crawford are the same age. I think they're both 35 or 34, 35. I think.
Yeah,
but I think now with age-wise, it's such the technology has changed where you can fight longer. It's
you can fight longer.
You just have to have your name right. Like
right.
Again, like I would like to have a couple pro fights, but I know I'm not gonna get the bread like freaking all the older fighters are. Like I already know. I know that. I just want to be like just to get
right. You might have to
put
on that stage,
Twan.
Right?
But I just want to just get in
that, man.
You might have to be a B-Hop, Twan. You see how B-Hop had to do it.
Yeah, B-Hop.
He had to come out the joint. Yeah, he had to grind. He had to grind, and then he started catching people slipping with that Philly slick mentality. Like, oh, you want to go here? Oh yeah, come on, chump. Come on,
I was beating people at late 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
I said in the gym I'm at, shoot, the kids all day. I already told them, I was like, look, I'm with all the smoke. Y'all want to spar? We can spar. Y'all want to fight? We can fight.
Because your tool at your age, Twan, is what they don't do. Your tool is this. Mm-hmm. Your tool is your brain. And if you don't hurt me, because this is what happens in every time. When Kovalov lost the Ward, the first time he got mad, and then Ward beat him the second time, and then he tried to complain like it was a low blow. I looked at him like, man, he hitting you right on your belt line, and you got your stuff high.
Body shot,
but
great shot.
He outthought him. Kovalov was like, okay, I've been running through people, and once I drop them, they get scared. It came around 5, 6, 7, 8, and then Kovalov was like, damn, this dude Ward ain't going away. What do I do?
Exactly.
That's how you
right.
So, like, a lot of younger fighters need to understand, like, yo, get your name out there. Get it set early, or find a mentor that knows the game.
Right.
Tank did that. Freaking Garcia's doing that. Like,
and
Canelo
stay busy.
That.
That's another thing. Stay
there
busy.
You go, Des. Stay busy.
You're on people's mind every time. Stay busy. Like
you don't have to fight all the time, but you need to be like out there. Like,
well, fellas, that's what I'm saying with Andre, though. It's like you run around chasing people instead of staying busy. And it's like, and you'll do like one fight every 3 years. Like, dude, get busy.
You fight at least 6 months.
Right.
Like every 6 months, you should fight.
You got to try to.
And with a guy like him who needs clout every 4 months, he don't even get hit that much.
Yeah.
Like y'all remember when Canelo first took over, when Floyd first retired? Canelo was fighting 4 times a year.
Oh yeah.
When he first got his own contract, he went crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's like, let me get my bag. I'm gonna fight him. Just run through him. Not get hit much. Just take low damage. Make the bread. Like But if you really want to fight at least twice a year. If you don't get hit like that, fight 3 times a year.
Yeah.
If you really want to set yourself up as like that, fight 4 times.
Right. You got to do that.
You got to start getting the rounds in because something may happen. I.e. Tank, because as soon as Tank gets done with this fight, he's got to go and see what's going to go down with his charges.
You got to get his legal.
That was smart too. I remember Des called it. Twan, we had another guy here before. That other co-host didn't think that it was going to get done, and Des was like, "No, that fight going to get done because it makes sense to do it before he has to go in and face his charges." And then he went and got it done, and we all was like, "Yeah, Des called that." But before we get out of here, fellas, this hour went by quick. Let me go over the schedule, and then I'm gonna see y'all want. There's a fight on the Zone next week early. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him. His name's Joe Cordine. If y'all want to catch that in the day before the Tank fight. That's going on. Alan Babbitt, he fights at what you call Bridgerweight. You know how WBC made that new division called Bridgerweight, where it's not heavy. Bridgerweight, it's like a bigger cruiserweight. Huh?
In between cruiser and heavyweight?
Heavyweight. Yeah, he's a beast. I like him. But there's another fight, Cabello. It's on the Zone. That's in Manhattan. That's going to be a good fight. Then you got Zepeda versus Alvarado. I know y'all heard of William Zepeda. That's on the Zone. That's April 2. That's the week after. May 6th, we got Canelo Ryder. Joshua Botstein. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He like a UK fighter. Eddie Hearn wouldn't take him back. And I want to talk about Eddie Hearn. I respect Eddie Hearn because some of these fighters that do some disrespectful stuff, and they'll be like, yeah, Eddie ain't paying me enough. And then when Eddie be like, all right, go ahead, they be like, I'm going to take you back. And Eddie's funny. It's kind of like that song he made about, what's the name? Leonard Ellaby. Y'all heard the Leonard Ellaby song? No sunshine when Taints. He's funny for me because he was just like, Eddie Hearn was like, it would be dumb for me to take him back. He said all the stuff about me. Let him go out there and see what's out there. Kind of like what Al Heyman doing with Broner right now. Then we got Rolly on May 13th. He's fighting for a title. I don't F with KSI. Excuse my language. That stuff is corny to me.
Oh, the YouTube fighters?
Yeah, we got Butler. We got Stephen Butler. He's in the ring on
KSI.
Yeah.
KSI is fighting.
The YouTube. Oh yeah. Jake
Paul. I don't rock with that at all. Yeah. KSI. By the way, y'all see he fighting Nate Diaz as on the Zone in like August. Y'all heard that, right?
Yeah, I heard he's fighting Nate Diaz. Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it just because I like fighting, but you know,
I mean, y'all fellas, y'all watch it for free. I ain't paying for it.
Oh no! I damn sure won't pay for it. Yeah. Like, I'll watch it though. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I ain't paying for that.
I'll watch it for free.
Because fellas, and I'm mad Twan wasn't here that weekend. We did that. What does it show, fellas? It shows that he fought a real boxer, he lost, and then what did he go right back to? His formula. What's he fighting?
Fighting older MMA
fighters. Old retired MMA fighters. So to me, it's just like you're not
trying to get a win. You're trying to get a win. That's all.
Yeah, he's just trying to come off. He's trying to come up.
And he ain't trying to do MMA for real because he know one of them old MMA fighters will choke him out.
Yeah. No, he's signed. He's signed to
He's supposed to be signed to the thing that's on ESPN, but when is he fighting, Twan?
No, Jake is signed to an MMA promotion.
Yeah, the one that comes on ESPN, the Premier Fighters League, or PFL or whatever.
Yeah, PFL.
But the thing is, he ain't go straight from that to PFL. He went straight from losing to Fury's brother to now. What is he doing, Twan? Now he's jumping in the ring with another MMA fighter on his own pay-per-view.
I'm gonna say so. Apparently, what may be going down is it may be a 2-fight deal with Diaz, and maybe him in boxing. Then they're going to the cage. Because Diaz is still a free agent. He has no agent.
And Diaz will fold him up, tap him out, all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah.
But that's what if I was Jake Paul, that'd be the move for the bread. Like
Damn, this rematch is fast. They got Mauricio Lore versus Lee Wood. You remember that one a couple weeks ago, Dez?
Yeah, that's coming up
That
again.
rematch is May 27th. That
quick. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I like when guys hurry up and run it back.
Yeah.
You know, it don't take that long.
That's the reason I like her. Alexis Rocha, Anthony Young, May 27th. That might be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
On the zone. They got some other cats I ain't heard of. Clarissa Shields, June 3rd. Teofimo Lopez, Josh Taylor, June 10th. Those are 2 good weekends. June 24th. Okay, June 24th, J-Rock is back in the ring in Minneapolis. Jason Quigley is fighting Edgar Berlanga late June.
Okay.
Why they put those on the same Saturdays? I hate when they do that.
I hate when they do that too, yeah.
And then right there, you got Fulton Inouye in July, and then you got Jake Paul Diaz in August. So hopefully they give us more fights in July.
Right. We tapped in right now. And when was that Spencer Crawford supposed to be the 17th, right? Or June something. It's supposed to be June something. June something. But yeah, man. I wanted to say happy birthday to the late Ettore Gotti. That was my guy.
Man, did you ever see that one?
Give me a couple seconds, dude.
The late Ettore Gotti. I used to watch him, coming up as I enjoyed all his fights, man. And we talk about stopping the fight. We know how the fight got stopped. How Joyce got stopped because his eye was closed. Ettore Gotti used to fight like that with both of his eyes closed like that.
And not care.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, they're getting crazy with those stoppages a little soon. But it's your birthday today. Shout out to the late, great Ettore Gotti.
Yep.
Mayweather put that schoolwork on him that one fight.
H Money in the comment section, he got his own boxing. He always tap in with us. He's saying shout out and RIP to Ettore Gotti too.
Yeah.
But Twan, he got to get back to family matters. We've been talking over an hour. You know what I mean? Good little show, fellas. Let's connect and let's get something going this week, Thursday.
Right. So Thursday evening, probably, right?
Yeah, definitely Thursday evening.
Thursday evening, gotcha. All right. Yeah. I see y'all boys then, man.
All
right, fellas.
Peace.
What did you think about the fight? I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. But let me call something. Let me let y'all know. Y'all know